Hi everybody, today we're going to talk with Sirid Krüger, Marketing Manager at Flowkey, multi-platform piano learning app. Hi Sirid.
Hello Maria.
Thank you for joining me for this talk where we will go over how you managed to scale your Apple Search Ads campaign so successfully, doubling your ROAS.
Yes, so thank you for the invite. I'm really super excited for being here today with you and to talk a little about ASAP, Flowkey, and our mutual journey.
Well, first things first, tell us a little bit more about Flowkey app.
Yeah, sure. So as you already said, Flowkey is a piano learning app, and what is unique about it is that our users learn to play piano by playing their favorite music right from the start. It combines videos recorded by professional pianists with interactive learning functions and feedback on the users playing. We have a freemium business model. So after signing up, new users have free access to selected songs and courses, and more than 1,500 songs and a wide range of courses are available after subscribing to a premium membership then.
Wow, sounds awesome. I also watched Flowkey TEDx presentation and
Oh yeah.
it's really inspiring. I would recommend it to anybody who's interested in learning piano. So, Sirid, could you tell us a little bit more about your professional background and how you joined Flowkey team? And also, what are you responsible for in the company?
Yes, sure. So I have a background in marketing management and gained first experience in marketing at two German companies called Deutsche Telekom and Helbling. And 2.5 years ago, I joined Flowkey as I found their cause really inspiring. And by then, we were quite a small team, so we were about 4 people, including me. Now we are still a comparably small team of 8, but I feel we have managed to streamline our responsibilities across channels quite well. And my core channels are ISO and paid social marketing.
Well, I'd like to talk in more detail about your user acquisition strategy. But before that, I would like to share a little presentation we have made to accompany our conversation with some useful slides and with numbers and graphics. So let me share my screen. Here it is.
Yes.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about your user acquisition channels and what place does Apple Search Ads take in your strategy?
So I would say we have quite a diverse channel mix, and people who want to learn piano and are looking for the right learning method, we aim to be present on multiple platforms and face those potential users who are interested in learning piano and offer them then an inspiring solution. In the early years, we focused on non-paid marketing such as ASO, SEO, and affiliate, which proved to be great for the start. From its inception in 2014, Flowkey has experienced immense growth and without venture capital funding. So naturally, paid ads entered the picture only later on in 2017. And also naturally, we are present on classic paid platforms like Facebook, Instagram, as well as on TikTok and USC. But with Apple Search Ads, we can identify people with the right search intent and target them specifically with a relevant and non-intrusive ad. And users coming to our product page via Search Ads have a very strong intention to install Flowkey and make an in-app purchase. And this high interest is reflected in a very high ROAS as well, which we don't see for other paid channels on this level. So it's definitely one of our backbones for being able to experiment with new channels.
I'm going to change to a new slide to talk a little bit more about Apple Search Ads. So in how many countries and regions are you running Apple Search Ads campaigns now?
Oh, that's actually a good question. I'm not even sure about the exact number of markets we're running Apple Search Ads in, but we try to be active globally. So we started with Apple Search Ads pretty early, even before I had joined the company, when it was available only in a few markets. I think it was by then only US, Australia, UK, Switzerland, and Canada. And then the first big new release of markets like Germany, Spain, Italy, Mexico came in July 2018, and we tested them immediately. For us, it was clear that we couldn't miss this chance. And then in addition, after the global rollout in spring last year, we tried to be present in more of the available storefronts, or actually on most of them. And of course, not all are on the same level and are not our primary markets, but the ones we are focusing on the most is US and DACH, for example, and UK and France. These markets will always have a higher priority to us than smaller storefronts. And however, especially with Apple Search Ads, we see great potential for breaking into smaller markets and finding users who are interested in learning piano.
Mm-hmm. And what is your key goal for this channel?
I guess first it still grows. However, this goes hand in hand with optimization as well, right? So still after 3 years, we see potential for growth with Apple Search Ads. And this year, for example, we focus on our attention on other markets. We haven't been active in such as Asian markets. At the same time, it's our ongoing attempt to optimize all campaigns on an ongoing basis and through the seasonality of the year.
Mm-hmm. By the way, how do you optimize your Apple Search Ads campaigns, and what KPIs do you use to evaluate the performance?
Optimization, it's a topic that can go into detail quite a lot, but the big picture for us is formed by a set of KPIs that our business holds as important indicators. So to put it short, we focus on a very end of funnel KPIs, like the amount of revenue events coming in, CPA, cost per goals, and of course ROAS, to determine then the overall performance, and which is also natural since we want to make money and not to lose. But there are several questions one can ask to evaluate opportunities and chances and the health of an account or within the campaign. So with every question, I would take a different measure to answer it. So sometimes also very top funnel and simple measures like tap-through rate or number of impressions can give you the answer. So for example, when you are not relevant for a keyword, or you have not even entered the competition with your bid, that could be the ones you have to look for.
Mm-hmm. By the way, we've noticed the impressive results. You managed to achieve scaling Apple Search Ads, like 70% increase in spend and doubled ROAS. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really super happy about that as well. So about what we have achieved. I think many factors came together that we were able to scale this way. So within 1 year, we were able to scale the spend about 70% and their ROAS doubled. So this is really, really nice for us. And this was achieved by increasing the new downloads about 80% and custom conversions about 200%. Also, the share of new downloads in our new markets increased. So this would be, for example, Japan, Taiwan, Korea, and Hong Kong, since we have been actively working on them. And we've seen a growth there of 900% new downloads.
Wow, these are results indeed. You mentioned you tried running ad campaigns in this channel before June last year. And what was the main driver you decided to join our service?
Yeah, indeed. So last June, we joined you when the global rollout of Apple Search Ads took place. And after the rollout, it was very obvious that we could not manage the campaigns without some support from a more advanced dashboard. This means it simply has more functionalities like advanced filters or searches and a smart historic view, for example, on campaign performance, and then also the automation rules. And the sheer number of campaigns running became a challenge itself, and also our attempt to expand campaigns with keyword sets. So this is why we were really happy to join your service back then.
Well, could you share some hacks and tricks from your strategy which helped you to achieve your KPIs?
Okay, so in my opinion, you can achieve quite a lot with Apple Search Ads when you have the basics right and the structure your campaign in a way that makes sense for you and your product. So this is actually one of the first things that determines your success with Apple Search Ads. And of course, there are differences per industry and apps on how you should optimize your campaigns. However, most importantly, the big factor that determines your success on Apple Search Ads is that your initial product idea fits the channel. So if your product app is innovative and addresses a specific recognizable need that a user is looking to fill, then they can easily search for this and find your application. We are in the lucky position that people have a clear picture of how to describe what they're looking for. And then another step we took is that we focus on a broad range of storefronts. Our app is localized in several languages, so it was only natural to go for these markets. And within 1 year, we expanded our campaigns about 65%. And also now we have 70% more active keywords compared to last year. I'm checking and keep on checking for new phrases and keywords that might pop up here and there. Also for established campaigns, which have been running for years. And especially in our industry, I would say competitors change from time to time, so it pays off to keep an eye out continuously for changes. Also, we aim to localize the keyword sets for all markets. So where we run campaigns, this is a bit more of an effort, especially when you don't speak the language. But thanks to Google Translate and our amazing freelancers and other services, this is definitely possible, I would say. And then a big step we took was the decision to go after let-on users. So you might face some uncertainties for post-install events, but we have seen good results since we started them. And for the future, this is becoming more and more relevant, I feel. And then nevertheless, you need to know your seasons and what effect this has on your campaign performance. So for us, the seasonality plays a big role and we act accordingly. So being aware of this can help you through months and moments where results are not or not look too good. And then on high times, for example, I know it's a high time and I would prepare, for example, with more liberal bids and caps and more aggressive bidding, and would also prioritize some storefronts above others.
Well, it sounds like a great plan.
It worked.
How did SearchAdsHQ help you with this task? And what are the most valuable features in your opinion?
Well, SearchAdsHQ is just very, very handy in its totality, I would say. So, but then, of course, some features I use more than others. So next to very simple functions like advanced filters or searches, it also is helpful for duplication. So the duplication feature, it helps you to duplicate any item you would like to duplicate, like campaigns or keywords. And then I'm also quite often checking the historic bid graphs, which helps me a lot to understand deeper what might be the reason for the current performance, both good or bad. And one important part of our success story is also the automation rules provided by SearchAdsHQ. The basis for this is that you can include different app events into one conversion event in SearchAdsHQ. And another good feature is the automation, which is excellent. We are continuously using this feature now. And at the moment, not to its fullest potential, I have to admit, but we are going step by step and implementing one type of rule after the other. Why it takes some time, it's just because I really want to understand what effect these rules have on the campaigns and the account. And then if I really get it and see it's working correctly, I will implement the rule across all campaigns and storefront where it fits. And yeah, SearchAdsHQ is just doing a really, really great job. And your guys are thinking above or ahead, kind of your clients' needs. This is really fun working with the tool.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to add a few words about automation and show you this slide. There's indeed a lot you can automate with Apple Search Ads. Like, for example, you can set a rule to optimize keyword bids by your target metric. For example, CPI and keyword bids will be automatically adjusted, helping you achieve your desired cost per install. Or you can set a rule to automatically pause ill-performing keywords, for example, with high CPT bid but low ROAS. And you can set up alerts, which would warn you when you spend on keyword gets too high, so that you could either increase spend cap or pause keywords. And there's super fast bulk management. For example, you can duplicate the whole account structure to a new storefront in just a few clicks. No more exporting and importing CSV, creating account structure from scratch and setting bids. All in all, there are over 500 variations of automation rules and alerts in SearchAdsHQ. And we are an official Apple Search Ads partner. But back to you, Sirid.
Sure. Yeah, actually, I have to say, I also really highly appreciate that you guys keep on developing the tool. And it's so important to keep up to date and be aware of any new changes. And for example, lately I've been using the new feature, the custom metric tool. This custom metric function is a great way to consolidate data from different sources into one place. So one example in our case is that we use the custom metrics for easily getting the real ROAS into our dashboards by adding the conversion rate of the trial. And another case, for example, is when we want to have a overview of the evaluation of our lead-on campaigns. Then I would also use them.
Wow. It really inspires me how helpful you found SearchAdsHQ for Flowkey. And just for a quick recap, I'm going to show this slide and go over all the needs that we can cover with SearchAdsHQ. So if, for example, one is looking for quick access to full funnel, like from impressions to events, we have all-in-one dashboard where you can find Apple Search Ads metrics and MMP's data, and also custom conversion, configuration, and filters. And for in-depth overview of the account, we offer intuitive layout plus total summary of the linked accounts, and charts at every level and cohort analysis, as well as custom columns and dashboard column presets. If one is looking to save time, we have automated rules and smart alerts, which I mentioned before, bulk management, and campaign structure duplication in just a few clicks. Also for keyword management, SearchAdsHQ offers built-in keyword planner. And last but not least, to scale the campaigns, we offer campaign duplication to enter new storefronts, bulk operation to run discovery campaigns, and automation rules, which are focused particularly on scaling. So
quite some opportunities.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do, but let's shift our focus from product to people. How would you evaluate the work with SearchAdsHQ team?
So I feel the whole team is really into their work, I have to say. This, for one, is visible by your continuous readiness to address my questions and possible hesitations as well. Also, you keep suggesting new ideas and at the same time, you take the time and discuss strategies with me in detail even, and give hands-on support, which I highly appreciate here. And I feel I can always contact you and say, hey, how about this and that? And I get a detailed answer no matter what the topic is. And I also think you do a great job when you kind of involve your clients into testing new features. It's great to be able to try something before adding it to your plan. So this shows how much you value your clients and only kind of want the best for their business as well. This is really awesome.
Wow. Thank you for such a positive feedback.
Yeah, totally. I can just say this is so true.
Well, we're always going an extra mile for our clients. That's true. But now to a less positive topic. 2020. What a year.
Definitely.
It was difficult for some mobile app publishers with the COVID-19. We have made an extensive research here at SearchAdsHQ, analyzing how the pandemic affected different categories in Apple search ads in Q1 and Q2. And we've noticed that in such high demand categories as education, business, utilities, photo and video, and also fitness, the number of downloads is actually growing while CPA is falling. How has COVID-19 affected your KPIs? And have you noticed any change in user behavior during the first pandemic?
So yeah, I would say we saw quite a drastic change. To be honest, the peak times of end of March to the beginning of May was just crazy. People search for interesting activities they could keep themselves busy with during the lockdown, and many took this as an opportunity to tackle the long-lasting dream of learning piano. And in our KPIs, we saw all our KPIs kind of skyrocketed, and we saw results we would normally expect only during winter, our high season at Christmas. And while achieving this very high growth of installs, our CPA decreased by 35% year over year at the same time. So this was really, really, really incredible. And we're so thankful that we have managed to help so many people with their dream of learning piano and keep them or giving them some nice activity during the lockdown. And as a result of increased users, we have set our minds on delivering the best possible experience to our users by improving the note detection, for example, the song selection, and the course offering, which all are highly appreciated by our current users as well.
That's a great approach, indeed.
Yeah.
As for the increase in downloads and decrease in CPA that I mentioned before, this means that after a pause caused by the uncertainty of the situation, advertisers return to Apple search ads and adapt to new circumstances. And surely, strong demand for apps in the categories that I mentioned help to increase downloads and lower CPA. By the way, the link to this research will be in the description of the video. And our report features analysis of 6 categories, 558 million impressions, and 21.2 million downloads in 60 countries and regions, as well as comments from such experts as Thomas Petit, Johannes von Kramen, and Andrea Raggi. But back to you, Sirid. What about other user acquisition channels? Have you tweaked your strategy for Facebook, Google Ads, for example?
So we noticed a higher demand for piano learning apps even before the pandemic started. However, we did not change our core strategy too much during the time and for this year. But what we did is increased our overall marketing budget more than we initially planned. And our goal was and remains to provide our users with a new way of learning by playing their favorite songs. So now, due to the pandemic, our service is more wanted than ever before, and we are in the position to fulfill this demand. User experience is at the core of our business, and we have localized our app the past years already, so which is great. So we can give now the users a very nice learning experience, and for many even in their native language, which makes learning, I think, very much more easier.
Getting back to Apple Search Ads, what is the minimum budget for getting the first results from your campaigns, in your opinion?
I say it's of course depending on what a conversion is worth to you, but in my opinion, Apple Search Ads is one of the rare channels where you can get solid results with low budget. So this is also how we started it, and the demand is there. People are searching for a certain topic on the App Store. So with a budget around, I'd say 500 to 1K euro a month per market, you can achieve quite solid results for the start, and then decide how and whether you want to go on. But of course, it will always depend on your category and your competitors. But this is what we have experienced, and we are still very satisfied with the channel.
Well, I'm going to change the slide. And to sum up, what are the main secrets to successful scaling with Apple Search Ads in your view?
Yeah, well, I have to say again, everyone has to find the ones for its own case. But for us, it has been key to localize each storefront kind of. It's also crucial to work on the campaign continuously. So it might seem like you set up the campaign once and then you're done. But the most important work is really to maintain the campaign and check every campaign regularly in detail, and just to keep growing and defining the opportunities and risks. Yeah.
Well, I cannot let you go without some advice about ESO and mobile app marketing based on your hands-on expertise.
Okay, so I think it's important to be aware of the synergy and the interaction between the channels, right? So especially ESO as an organic channel is the gateway for all other paid channels to result then into a final conversion event. And if you improve here on the ESO part, for example, a little on the conversion rate to install, you will win obviously not only for your ESO and organic channels, but for your paid as well. But also the other way around. I mean, paid channels have a massive impact on your organic performance by bringing in the volume. Overall, increased volume has a direct result of paid channels. Activities might result then in higher visibility for ESO. And the advantage of pairing ESA and ESO is that you can directly work on improving your metadata in a way that it's more helpful for ESA. So for example, when you see that with the keyword you're not as relevant in ESA as you would like to be, you can tweak here and there at your ESO end to improve this. So when picking the keywords for ESO and ESA, you should see both channels together and would be, and just check what is the smartest combination for you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Sirid.
Thank you for having me here.
It was a very insightful conversation, and I wish you to keep growing and scaling. And
thanks so much.
Keep helping people to learn piano. Thank
you. Goodbye. Ciao.
Bye.